My wife told everyone I was broke and useless after divorce. Years later, she showed up at my mansion with her new husband, begging for help. I just smiled and closed the gates. Hello Reddit I plus here. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here we are. I'm a 45-year-old man, and what I'm about to share feels like something out of a movie. Except it was my life. I'm not looking for pity, just to finally get this story out of me. 15 years ago, I was married to a woman named Lydia. We had been together since our early 20s, and I thought we were building a life together. I wasn't wealthy back then. I worked long hours as an engineer, often juggling freelance projects just to make ends meet. Money was tight, yes, but we had stability, or at least I thought we did. The thing is, Lydia loved appearances. She liked being seen in nice clothes, driving nice cars, going out to restaurants. I could only afford those things occasionally, but she always pushed for more. At first, I thought it was just youthful impatience, that she would mellow with time. But the truth is, she was never really interested in me, just the lifestyle she thought she deserved. The real problems began when I got laid off. My company downsized, and I spent nearly a year scraping by on odd jobs while trying to launch my own small business. I won't lie, it was humiliating. We went from being comfortable to barely affording groceries some weeks. I was stressed, exhausted, and terrified of losing our home. Instead of standing by me, Lydia turned cruel. She would call me useless during arguments. She'd roll her eyes when I applied for jobs, saying things like, "No one's going to hire you. You're past your prime." She even stopped being intimate with me, telling her friends I wasn't a real man anymore. And then came the ultimate betrayal. I found out she had been seeing someone else, one of her co-workers. To make things worse, when she filed for divorce, she painted me as a deadbeat. She told mutual friends and even my family that I was broke, incompetent, and dragging her down. Her parting words to me during our final court date were, "You'll never be anything. You'll die broke, while I move on to someone who can actually take care of me." That line never left me. The divorce gutted me. She got half of what little we had and walked away smug, arm in arm with the guy she'd cheated on me with. I felt humiliated, discarded, like my life had been set on fire. For a while, I believed her words. I thought maybe she was right, that I'd never recover. But something in me snapped. I was tired of being the victim, tired of letting her words dictate my future. I threw myself into work. The small business I had been struggling to start, I doubled down on it. I studied night and day, took risks that terrified me, and slowly, things began to click. Within 5 years, my company, focused on renewable energy solutions, took off. I landed contracts I never dreamed of, hired staff, and scaled up. By year 10, I was earning more in a month than I had made in an entire year, back when I was married to Lydia. Eventually, I bought land outside the city and built my dream home. A sprawling estate with tall iron gates, manicured gardens, and a view of the hills. I won't lie, part of me built it just to prove Lydia wrong. I hadn't heard from her in years. Mutual friends told me she'd remarried. Apparently her new husband was some hotshot real estate guy. They flaunted their lifestyle online. Lavish vacations, designer clothes, expensive cars. I ignored it. Let her have her fairy tale. But then, 3 months ago, I was in my study when my security guard called me. "There's a woman at the gate asking for you," he said. I pulled up the camera feed, and my heart nearly stopped. It was Lydia, except she didn't look like the polished, smug woman I remembered. Her hair was unkempt, her makeup smudged, her clothes wrinkled. Beside her was a man, her husband I assumed, looking just as desperate. I went down to the gate, and she rushed forward when she saw me. "Please," she said, voice trembling. "We need to talk." Turns out, her husband's real estate empire had collapsed. Bad investments, legal troubles, debts. They had lost everything. Their home, their cars, their so-called friends. She admitted they were basically homeless, hopping between motels. And then she said the words I never expected. "We need your help. Please. You've done so well. We don't have anywhere else to go." Her husband stood silently behind her, avoiding my eyes. For a moment, I just stared at them. This was the same woman who once told everyone I was broke, useless, and beneath her. The same woman who laughed in court as she tore me apart. And now, here she was, begging outside the gates of the home she swore I'd never have. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I didn't even ask questions. I simply looked her in the eye and said, "You were right. I am nothing. Useless. Broke, remember?" And then, without another word, I nodded to the guard. The iron gates slowly closed in her face. Through the security camera, I saw her sink to the ground, sobbing. Her husband tried to pull her up, but she slapped his hand away. They argued for a while, then finally walked off into the night. I thought I'd feel triumphant, But what I really felt was peace. For years, her words had haunted me, driven me, pushed me further than I thought I could go. And now, standing behind my gates, watching her disappear, I realized something. Her betrayal was the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't hate her anymore. I don't love her either. She's just a ghost from another life, a reminder of how far I've come, and I can finally close that chapter for good. I didn't expect to be posting an update, but a few of you asked what happened afterward. Well, buckle up because things got even messier. A week after I closed the gates on Lydia and her husband, I got a letter in the mail. Not an email, not a text, an actual handwritten letter. It was from her. The first few paragraphs were full of apologies. She claimed she regretted the things she said during our marriage, that she was young and didn't know how to appreciate a good man. Then she pivoted, saying how amazing it was that I had become so successful, and how she always knew I had potential. Yeah, right. But the kicker came at the end of the letter. She wrote, "We may not have worked out, but I think deep down, we both know there's still a connection. I don't expect you to take me back, but if you could give us a second chance in life, especially me, I would make it worth your while. I can be the partner you always deserved." When I read that, I actually laughed out loud. After everything, after publicly humiliating me, after leaving me in ruins, she was trying to hint at rekindling something? Meanwhile, her husband, who she left me for, was apparently just disposable? I didn't reply to the letter. I thought ignoring her would be enough, but 2 weeks later I saw her again. I was leaving a business dinner downtown when she appeared near my car. I have no idea how she knew I'd be there. She looked different this time, cleaner, dressed better, makeup on, like she was trying to present herself as the woman I used to know. "Please," she said, stepping in front of me, "just hear me out." I could have had security escort her away, but a part of me wanted to see what she would say. She launched into this sob story about how her husband had trapped her, how she never really loved him, how she always believed in me, but didn't know how to show it back then. She even reached for my arm, tears in her eyes, whispering, "You're the only man who ever truly cared for me." It was straight-up manipulation. Every word felt rehearsed, and I'll admit, 10 years ago, broken me might have fallen for it. But not this version of me. I pulled my arm away and said, "Lydia, the only thing you ever cared about was money and status. You didn't want me. You wanted a lifestyle. And when I couldn't give it to you, you threw me away. Don't stand here now and pretend it was anything else." She froze, then her face shifted from fake tears to anger. "You think you're so much better than me now, don't you?" she snapped. "You wouldn't even be here if it weren't for me pushing you. I made you who you are." That line almost made me laugh. The audacity. I just looked at her and said, "No, you broke me. I made myself." Then I got in my car and drove away. She was shouting something as I left, but I didn't bother listening. Since then, I've heard through the grapevine that she and her husband split. Apparently, he took what little they had left and bailed. She's on her own now, bouncing between family members' couches. I haven't seen her again, and I hope I never do. Walking away that night felt better than slamming the gates in her face, because for the first time in decades, I realized she had no power over me. Not her words, not her tears, not her manipulation, nothing. She's just a bitter reminder of who I used to be, and who I'll never be again.